Bonjour tous, je m'appelle Rochelle, and today I'm going to be talking about my 2020 SMART goals for language learning. Now, I'm learning French, but you can apply these goals to any language that you are learning. So, SMART stands for specific, measurable, attainable, relevant/realistic, and timely or time-bound. And making your goals this way is going to help you keep focused on your language learning journey. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through these goals and I'm going to name good examples and bad examples. And the great thing about doing it this way is that it helps you to map out your short and long-term goals. So let's get started. S stands for specific. So a bad example of that would be, I want to become fluent in French so I can sound like a native speaker. Well, a better goal would be, I want to learn 3,000 words in French so that I can have at least a 15-minute conversation with someone else in French. That is a lot more specific. And also, it's not as vague as just saying, I want to be fluent in French like a native speaker. And also, that goal might be too big. So instead of making such a big goal, make it smaller and also give yourself a timetable. 3,000 words. And I want to speak to a French person for 15 minutes. That's being a lot more specific. The next one is measurable. So a bad example of measurable would be, I want to increase my vocabulary. A better example of measurable would be, I want to learn 5 new words every day, and I want to be able to use those 5 words in a sentence. That is much more measurable. The next one is attainable. So a bad example of attainable would be, I want to finish reading 10 French books in 1 week. Now, I don't know how much time you have, but reading 10 books in a language that you're learning in a week seems like a very lofty goal. So a better goal would be, I want to finish reading 10 chapters in 1 French book in a week. That goal is a lot more attainable. Next, we're going to go to relevant/realistic. And depending on where you do your research or which SMART goals you look at, some people say relevant, some people say realistic, but it's all the same. So this would be like making sure your goals are something that you can actually realistically do, or something that's actually relevant to your life. So a bad example would be, this week, I'm going to learn how to order food in a French restaurant, but yet you have no plans to go to a French restaurant. A better example would be, I want to learn French words and phrases about food and drink so that I can talk to people in French about cooking and about wine. That is much more relevant. Now, you may visit a French restaurant one day, but if that's not something you see happening in the near future, then instead of focusing on ordering at a French restaurant, why not focus on learning about French food and drink and vocabulary so that you can talk to other people about French food or French wine or French cuisine? That would be a lot better. It's definitely more realistic and more relevant. So the T stands for time-bound or timely. So a bad example of that would be, I want to get to A2 level in French. A better example would be, I want to get to A2 level in French in 6 months. That way you're giving yourself a time limit. You're holding yourself accountable and saying, okay, I've got to get this done in 6 months. And that gives you something that you can work towards. So those are SMART goals and just a brief overview of it. And now I'm going to share with you my SMART goals. My goals are to finish Pimsleur lessons 1 through 5 within 6 months. Currently, I am on level 2. My next goal is to start ASML within 2 months of finishing all of the Pimsleur lessons. Also, I want to have a 1-hour session with a native French tutor using italki. I also would like to reach A2 level in French by the end of December 2020. I would like to complete 20 minutes of Duolingo a day. I would like to complete Coffee Break French Season 3, Upper Intermediate, within the next 6 months. I haven't really talked about Coffee Break French on the channel yet, but I will be doing a review of Coffee Break French very soon. Also, my goal is to read at least 3 French books within the next 6 months. I want to attend at least 1 French meetup, and to me, 1 is enough. I am an introvert, so doing 1 meetup would be an accomplishment. Basically, I need to talk more. I need to speak more with other French-speaking people. And there are some meetups in the local area that I could attend. I just have to get out of my comfort zone and go. So, at least 1. I also want to be able to watch French TV shows, videos, and movies without subtitles, so I can improve my listening skills, because that's really where I need to work the most, my listening skills, especially because French speakers, they talk so fast, or at least fast to me. It's very difficult when they're speaking fast. It's very difficult for me to pick up what they're saying, so I definitely want to listen to more French videos and TV shows to just improve my listening skills. I want to be able to communicate with French-speaking crocheters, knitters, and other fiber artists. I do own an online yarn shop, Queen's Yarn Boutique, and I want to be able to talk to more knitters and crocheters. And also, it's my hobby. I enjoy crocheting, I enjoy knitting and sewing and other fiber-related activities, and so I would love to be able to list, or I would love to be able to talk to more French-speaking fiber artists. I would like to feel confident when I go into a French restaurant or bakery. I want to be able to feel confident to go in and order food or order a drink. And also, I want to be able to converse with the staff at my local French bookstore. I would love to be able to walk in and carry on a conversation and at least be able to talk for at least 2 minutes or more than 2 minutes, just to be able to have a casual conversation without stopping and without having to think about what I want to say. Now, these are my goals. I'm sure I will think of others later, but for right now, these are my 2020 goals, and I feel like they're really good goals. They are measurable, they're time-bound, and I really do think that they fit into the criteria of the SMART goals. And so I would love for you all to share your goals. I think it's very important for you to set goals for yourself if you are learning a language this year or you're continuing in your language learning journey. I still think it's very important for you to set goals. And another thing about these SMART goals is that you want to write them or type them somewhere where you will see them often, and you want to go back and review them on a weekly basis, on a daily basis, just so you can keep yourself on track. Merci d'avoir regardé ma vidéo. S'il vous plaît, aimez et vous abonnez. À la prochaine!